What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. Please, if you are new to my channel, do wait to subscribe and also turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified when I upload a new video. And if you're returning, thank you so much for joining me today. You're the real MVP. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery story. If you've been to my blog before, you must have read this story. It's been on my blog before, but since I have a new audience here and so many people who don't like to read, so I just thought I should do another, that's an oral one for you guys where you can hear me listen to it instead of typing it. So let's get right into the video. Let me just say that not all heroes wear capes, or how did they say it, or every mother, like every mother in this world are heroes. Every mother. And I kind of respected all mothers after I gave birth to my baby. I'm like, how do people give birth to 30 kids? How do people give birth to 9 kids? Because after I had that one kid I was sure I didn't want any other babies so soon. I'm not ready to go through the pain again, even though I want 3 more. I want 4 kids in total, but it's gonna be spaced out. It's gonna be in a while. So my due date was on a Monday, which was 7th of October. My baby will be a year in a few weeks. I can't believe it. It was a Monday, 7th of October, and before this time I was trying to give birth like 38, 39 weeks. I would take a very long walk. I did everything on YouTube that everybody say, take primrose oil, take a walk, take pineapple, you know, all those natural all those natural ingredients that induce contraction. Nothing worked, absolutely nothing. At this point I was tired. The pressure was too much, you know, the pressure down there was too much. The baby was heavy, it was kicking. I'm like, I'm ready to meet this baby, like I'm just tired. So the Sunday prior to the Monday, we went to church, guys. Immediately the pastor started preaching. The pressure normally, you know, there's still a lot of pressure, but the pressure I felt, it was like times 10 of what I've been feeling. Then I remember, you know, I had my phone with me. I wrote on my notes, like I was telling Prince that it was too much pressure and my back was paining me. So I was like sitting this way in the I was sitting this way on the chair in church, but when the pressure started, I sat forward. I'm like, oh my god, what is this? Is my water gonna break in church? People are gonna look at me, you know. So I remember the pastor coming closer and we had an eye contact. I'm sure you could tell that, you know, there's something wrong with this girl. My face was giving it all. I was in so much pain, I was in so much pressure. But anyway, fast forward to after the whole service, and our pastor said, you know, if you need prayer, come out. I went out, you know, I'm almost close to my due date. I don't want to be overdue. I'm tired, I need to give birth to this baby. So he prayed for me and asked me, when is your due date? I told him my due date was that day, which was Sunday, because my original due date should have been Sunday, but the person that calculated it calculated Monday. So I just said my due date was Sunday. So it's like, do you know what labor feels like when I said no? So it's like, see my wife when you finish. So I saw her when, you know, the service finished. She told me what labor feels like. Immediately we left the church. Exactly what she described to me was what I started feeling. You know, your stomach will be hard, there'll be so much pressure, you know, and you'll be feeling the pain. So Prince was like, let's take a long walk. We took the walk. Honestly, we're not even halfway before I almost quit. I'm like, I'm not doing this walk anymore. He had to buy me McDonald's smoothie to bribe me to take that walk. We took a very long walk, and I would say that walk, it's almost like an hour and a half or 2 hours. We left church around like 2:30 and we got back home around 5 p.m. no joke. So just look at the distance. We took a walk, then we came back, you know. Prince just used smoothie to bribe me. We're taking one step at a time. The bracks and aches started coming, and as time was going, it started increasing. Like I couldn't walk. I was holding my, you know the way pregnant people walk, I was holding my back like this. Prince was holding me, and it was so intense. But I managed to, you know, his Braxton Hicks, his first contraction. It's not like the real contraction. So when we got home around like 5 p.m, we ate, we went to sleep because we are obviously so tired. We've been working for hours. Around like 10 p.m, I just felt like I was peeing myself, like I was bedwetting. I felt that watery sensation. So I stood up, I went to the toilet, and I saw, oh, my mucus plug, as you know, it has come out. I changed my underwear, I wore a pad. Was it a pad or a panty liner? No, I wore a pad, and I went to the kitchen to get some food because obviously I'm hungry. And as soon as I got back to the room, I tapped Prince. I'm like, Prince, my mucus plug just came out. You know, we had to call somebody that we know. We told her, okay, I think my mucus plug came out. She's like, go to the hospital. I know your water hasn't broken, but go to the hospital, let them check you. It's better for them to send you home than for you to be at home and you don't know what's happening. So we went to the hospital around 4 a.m. Yeah, that's right, around 4 a.m. And before we went to the hospital, I felt another sensation. That's more mucus plug came out. I went to the bathroom again. By the time I went there, it came with blood this time around. So that was what made us call the person we know, our neighbor. Yeah, because it came with blood and the mucus plug. That was what made us call the person. So we went to the hospital and checked me, and they said your water hasn't broken, but we think your water is going to break soon. Said okay. By that time, the contraction, it wasn't Braxton Hicks anymore. The contraction was coming. Even the nurse was looking, oh my god, that was a really big contraction. It was painful. He discharged us around like 10 a.m. When the nurse checked me, she's like, your water is bulging. Guys, you know when you put like water in a balloon or in a rubber and it's about to burst, you know that bulging, right? I say your water is bulging, I think it's gonna break, I think you're gonna come back in a few hours, which I actually did. So they ended up sending us home around 10 p.m. That's our neighbor. She's more like an auntie to me. She picked us up from the hospital because she works in the hospital also close by. She's a nurse. Went to her house because just in case we don't drive, she drives, she can drive us to the hospital. We were in her house. We live very close to each other anyway. We were in her house. The contraction was killing me. She's like, okay, let's take a walk so that you can extend the dilation. And the thing is, when they checked me, when I went to the triage, I was already 1 centimeter dilated. And once you're in labor, it's advisable for you to take a walk. You don't just sit somewhere. That's why if you see women that are in labor or you know, pregnant women, they walk around so that you can aid the dilation of your cervix. So, and if you don't get to 10 centimeters dilated, you can push out the baby. That's the thing. So we took a walk, guys. I'm telling you, I was rolling on the floor of New York. I was rolling. People were like, oh my god, it's a boy, right? The baby's coming, you can do it. You know, random people just making comments and like, oh my. I would literally stay on the floor, and Prince was on one side, the auntie was on the other side. They would draw me up, like stand up, we're in public. I didn't even care at this point. I was just in so much pain. I was saying, hey, I'm not more having another baby, even though I want 3 more. It was so painful. I started speaking Igbo that I don't even understand. They started making fun of me. They were just laughing. Prince was looking at me like, because he hasn't seen me in such pain before, you know. I was just looking. He looks so confused. You can tell that he's confused. Anyway, we headed back home, managed to go back home, and I was on the floor throughout. Trust me, I was on the floor, and Prince was just massaging my back, and that helped a little bit. 12 p.m. on the dot, my water broke. I remember I was cleaning that. I could just feel that, like, you know, when you put the water in the balloon and just poof. I'm just like, Prince was, I think my water just broke. And it looks like I just weed myself. I was wearing a black leggings. Everywhere was wet. Everywhere was wet. Then when I went to the bathroom, you know, to change myself before I head to the hospital, there was already meconium inside the water, inside the amniotic fluid. If you don't know what meconium is the first poo of the baby. So that means the baby or Ryan already pooed inside me. So Prince had to go and get me extra leggings. He got my hospital bag. Let me tell you one funny thing. When Prince ran, because our house was just next door, when Prince ran the first time, he only got me a leggings and a spare underwear. He didn't forget to grab the hospital bag. I'm like, where's the hospital? You could see that he did not, his head was everywhere. The second time he went to grab the hospital bag. So we headed to the hospital. The contraction was a lot. I was crying. I was bottling out my heart. Maybe we got to the hospital 12 p.m. I asked for epidural, please. I can't do it. You guys are doing natural birth. You guys are strong. I'm strong too, but I don't just like pain, you know. I asked for epidural, and the epidural did not come up until 5 p.m. So I was literally in pain from like 12 p.m, you know, all this white to like 5 p.m. before the epidural comes. The epidural does not reduce the pressure. It numbs the pain, but you can still feel the pressure coming. Well, it's better for you to feel the pressure than for you to feel the pain, right? So that helped a little bit. But before the epidural, I was crying. Prince was like, you have to be strong. Prince was just looking confused. He was monitoring everything, you know, the monitor where they put a belt on you to monitor the baby's heartbeat, the baby's movement and everything. Prince was just looking at it, make sure everything was okay, nobody's tampering with with anything and his phone kept ringing, you know, keep calling. We just prayed, you know, we did all things that we could do in our power, and we left the rest to God. When they saw that my water already broke, that was already not really a bad sign. But if my water break and I'm not dilating very fast, and I told you guys that once you're in labor, it's advisable for you to walk around. I can't walk around with my water that's broken. It will be dripping everywhere. So I was just on the bed. They put a catheter and all those things. And I remember the nurse that was taking care of me, she was also pregnant. I think she was 6 months pregnant. She's like, oh my god, this is my first baby too, but you're getting me scared. She was like, I'm getting that scared. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, but this is painful. It's my first time going through it. By the time it was like 11 p.m, I was already like 8 centimeters dilated. And I told you guys, if you're not 10 centimeters dilated, you can push. But the problem here is that the baby's heartbeat, which was Ryan's heartbeat, was dropping with every contraction. So it was kind of a bad sign, and heartbeat was dropping. The way they rushed me to the hospital, to the theater real fast and everything, because they had to bring out. If not, I would have, I don't know what would have happened. I don't even want to think about what would have happened. But I just had an emergency C-section. Immediately they brought out the baby. Oh my god, I felt so much relief, and I slept off. I slept. Immediately they brought out Ryan, and I could hear his cry. We took a couple of pictures. I slept off until like 5 a.m. the next day. And I remember when I woke up the first time, the first voice I could hear like was Prince saying, see, the baby is so fine, he's so handsome, man. If you know the way Prince talk, just imagine him saying such thing. I'm like, oh what? I slept back. Then when I woke up, I'm like, oh, where is my baby? Where's the baby I gave birth to? I was not looking at it. I couldn't believe I brought this baby to this world. I couldn't believe I birthed this baby. I couldn't believe I got through this much to have this baby. It was kind of a mixed emotion. I didn't know if I should cry. I didn't know if I should laugh. I just kind of thank God. I prayed. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. I made it. He made it. We're all fine. You know, everything just went well after that. Let me just tell you guys, for you to be considered to be in active labor, you have to follow like the 3-1-1 rule. That means your contraction needs to be at least 3 minutes long, 1 minute apart, and within 1 hour. And the first time I went to the hospital, my contraction was not following that rule, so I wasn't in active labor then. It was when my water broke. That another option for you to be in active labor is when your water broke. So when my water broke, that indicated that I was already in active labor. That was why, you know, I got admitted and so on. But that's my labor and delivery story. Did you guys enjoy it? Guys, I will tell you, like, birthing Ryan, it's my biggest accomplishment so far. It's almost 1 year old now. Me and Prince was saying it recently that we did not know that we'll come this far, and this time has come. God has kept us, God has provided. And yeah, so that's my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know, ladies, share your labor and delivery story or the highlights of your labor and delivery story in the comment section. Let's interact. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe as well if you haven't. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and God bless. Bye guys.